It's 2023 and you are scrolling searching for a car. You're on Kijiji Autos or you're on Facebook Marketplace looking at these prices and you're like, what is going on with the car market? I'm new to Canada, let's say, I want to buy a car and it's my first car, so I need an advice on how to purchase a used car. So guys, I'm here today to make a video on how to buy a car in Canada in 2023. Why I'm saying 2023? Because it's end of 2022 and this video is going to be more relevant for the next year than it is for this year. Now guys, okay, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Today we are going to cover how to buy a used car in Canada, and it's pretty damn simple to lose a lot of money. So if you're buying a used car, be prepared that there's going to be a lot of scam guys. There's a lot of sales guys, and I'm telling you guys, sales guys, especially in car dealerships, they are not your friends. They're there to make fast commissions. They're not like us realtors. I'm also a sales guy. I'm a realtor with eXp Realty here in Calgary, Alberta, licensed. So if you need a house, you give me a call. My contacts are in the description of this video. Now, I'll tell you some tricks and everything about the sales of the car salespeople because, well, luckily in my occupations, these guys are for some reason considering me as a sales guy as well, so they open up their secrets on how to buy a used car as if we do the same thing. The difference between real estate and buying cars is that in real estate, you are buying a very expensive product and it's more about relationship building, whereas car salespeople, when somebody's in your dealership before they left, they have to push you to buy it, but you have to protect yourself from that. So guys, if you are currently like myself, I'm buying a car. I purchased it in the spring and it's still not here because of this microchip supply shortages. It's still here. I paid a deposit in spring for a new Toyota RAV4 for 2023 model. So I ordered 2023 model because they said I'm going to be getting it in December. Now guys, I'm shooting this video in November and I came to the dealership, I asked them and they said most likely I might be able to get it by the end of next summer on 2023. So what the hell is going on with the market? First of all guys, you must be crazy if you're buying a used car right now. And you must be crazy if you're buying a new car. Here's why. If you're buying a new car right now, let's say you're like me, you are going for a hybrid version of limited 2023 Toyota RAV4 and you want to buy it, and they quoted me roughly $51,000 for it. So guys, now you have to wait for it for 1 or 2 years to get it right now. So it's pretty crazy you still need a car. If you need a car in Canada and you have to wait, now if you go, let's say, to Kijiji Autos and you search for the RAV4 that has 50,000 kilometers, that is 3 years old, it is still more expensive than the new Toyota RAV4 that I purchased for the same model. So I spoke to the sales guy there, and guys, I'm going to cover in this video, before I tell you more details, we're going to cover you how to choose a car, what you can do, my experience of buying cars, but I just want to give you the realities of 2022 right now. So what the guy told me, and he said, since you're in sales as well, since you're a realtor, I'll tell you what's going on. He told me that they purchased a bunch of cars from guys, one of those rental companies. And they said that they purchased those cars that are 2 or 3 years old at a price that they sold it to them new. So rental companies right now buying rental cars from dealership that are new. They rent them out, they put the kilometers, they use it, abuse it, they give it back to a dealership and they make the same kind of money. So the guy told me, put a ticket in, buy a new car right now and drive it for 2-3 years. You'll take it back probably at the same price if the market doesn't change. So that's why I'm going for a new car. But if you're buying an old car, here's the tips for you guys. First of all, you're going to be paying probably for an old car more than you'll be paying for a new car right now. I'm not joking. This is craziest. Market has never been like that. Now, also keep in mind that the interest rates right now are high, not only for housing, but for cars as well. And I was told that if you're buying from a dealership, you are looking at, for a new one, closer to 7% interest. And if you're buying a used one, you're looking closer to 9 or 12% interest, which is mind-blowing. Now guys, here you go. If you are new to Canada, I'll tell you how many cars I have purchased so far. Well, my first car was Toyota Echo. Then I had Hyundai Santa Fe, which I got light. The odometer was rolled back. I lost money on that Hyundai Santa Fe. So first car I purchased was Toyota Echo. I believe it was 2000. I don't remember the year, 2003 or 6, or something like that. And anyways, I purchased it for $3,000. I drove it for 2 years. I sold it for $3,200. Crazy, right? It's amazing. And I gave the guy a $50 discount as well. So it's a win-win situation, especially for me. And I changed oil at an Indian place in northeast of Calgary. They changed oil for the lesser price than the oil itself. So I don't even know if they actually changed it, but anyways, it was $30 oil changes at that time. It was also crazy. But anyways, so what happened is, guys, I still made money on it. Then I purchased Hyundai Santa Fe. And here's the mistake that I made and I don't want you to make. Guys, when I purchased that car, I found out that the odometer was rolled back. There was first red flag that I didn't know at that time because I was new to Canada. And the guy actually, well, on that car, the odometer was rolled back. It was in Dover. A red flag as well, one of the worst neighborhoods in Calgary, and I'm telling you that as a realtor. There's a higher crime rate and lots of nonsense happening, and it's historically, people told me not to buy cars there anymore. So I purchased a car there. They invited me to a family dinner with their mother, the father, their kids, nice family in Canada. Everything is good, and they lied to me saying that they're the first owners, they drove it, and that's why it has been very well maintained and everything. So they lied to my face. I test drove the car, they didn't have a number plate. So first thing is, they said that you can go down a road, you can just go on a back alley a little bit, so I don't drive it for too long, so that I don't find many issues. So red flag number one was, never do that. If they don't let you take it on a highway, if they remove the number plate, don't buy it, don't make my mistake. Second mistake I made, I didn't take this Carfax, car proof, whatever you call it, guys. The report that shows you the maintenance, the mileage, it didn't show me. I didn't check it. So that was my second biggest mistake. It's $40 and I was too broke, too cheap and too dumb to purchase it. Usually the owners of the car would even provide it to you, but they didn't. So I didn't check that. I was like, just, wow, I think I found the right car. I love it. I'm going to buy it. I was blinded by the car, by the want to purchase. That's one of the things, guys, in real estate as well, why you need a realtor. Because as a realtor, I don't really care much about the property like you do. I'm not emotionally attached to your house. So therefore, I go in and I see things that you would not notice, because when you see that you like something, you get blinded by it, and it's always best to have somebody else represent you and help you. So that's a kind of a bias that you get, and should be really careful of it. And you have to remind yourself and just act as if you're buying it not for yourself but for your wife, let's say, and then you'll be able to see those things that you don't notice when you buy it. So that's my first advice. Be open-minded, check all the documents. So another tip is take it to a mechanic. Now I know I do have this people-pleasing syndrome. So I have that difficulty saying no to people. And I've been struggling since my childhood with this syndrome and overcoming it from the years and doing this. At that time, it was a little bit higher than just right now, because when you realize you have it, it starts to go away. So here it is. I didn't want to offend people by saying that, well, I want to take it to a mechanic. Well, this was my mistake. I want you to have the same one. Take it to a mechanic. You're not offending anyone. It doesn't matter. They want to sell it. If they don't want to take it to a mechanic, don't buy it. Let them have the junk for themselves. So here you go, guys. Now you're going to ask me probably, okay, Igor, but what if I'm buying from a dealership? And I'll tell you guys, I purchased Toyota Echo. Very nice, reliable, garbage. Then I had this Hyundai Santa Fe. Then I actually got the third car. It was brand new Honda Civic 2015. It was like 7 years ago. Guys, it's an amazing car. I love it. But now I cannot tell that it's an amazing car because I drove a Subaru Impreza in winter, all-wheel drive for Canada, especially in Alberta. Awesome. but it's a rough ride. It was burning oil. I got that one used from a dealership. So I had basically one new car and 3 used cars, and now I purchased for myself just before the pandemic hit, like when the prices were still good. I purchased for myself Toyota Highlander. Now that's my love of my life. The best car I had so far, guys. I love it. Toyotas are great, and now I'm going for another one. So how many cars I had? Toyota, Hyundai, then Honda, then Subaru, now Toyota, and I'm buying another 6th car in Canada. So I'm telling you guys from experience, and I just helped one of my clients from real estate and a good friend of mine. I helped them purchase a nice car as well. They purchased a used Jeep, and I helped them purchase it not because I'm a realtor or anything, it's because I'm into sales. And he was like, "Hey Igor, can you help me, like as a friend, not as a realtor, as a friend, can you come by and just help me with that car?" And I was like, "Yeah." It was from a used car dealership. It was a bunch of guys who owned. We talked to the owner and we agreed to take it to a mechanic. So we actually took that car, that Jeep, to a Dodge. We took it to a Dodge dealership, another dealership, to have it checked by a mechanic. So here's number one thing, guys. If you're buying a car, used car in Canada, check the documents. Okay, check the car proof. Check the registration to see if it's rebuilt or not, and on Carfax it might be written as well. So make sure it has no accident. It's number one, check the documents. Number 2, test drive it. See how it goes, drive it around in different speeds, check the acceleration, any noise or anything in an engine. Number 3 is take it to a certified mechanic. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm purchasing a 6th car now. I also had 1 car in Ukraine. So I changed 7 cars so far in my life. So as I'm telling you right now, guys, 7 cars from my experience, I can open the hood, okay? And I can look, I can check the oil, I can check the wind washer fluid, okay? I can look under the car and I can see if there's any gaps in the door, to see if there was any major accidents. Okay, yeah, I'm as a car owner, I know something, but I'm not a mechanic. And even mechanic, by looking at the car, they wouldn't be able to tell you without lifting it up, checking everything inside and telling you what's wrong with it. They have to run the diagnostics. There is nothing wrong about it. And if you're buying from a dealership, you can always ask them to take it to a mechanic. You can put a deposit, take it to a mechanic, check it, and if there's something wrong, you can negotiate on the price down, check the documents, check everything, and then only buy it. So that you're not going to lose $1,000 something I lost. I don't even remember how much I lost on the car. I purchased for $3,500. I sold it for $1,200. So it's like almost $2,000 I lost. I think on that Hyundai Santa Fe. It was so many years ago. I don't even remember exactly the numbers. But I'll leave a link for a video that I made where I remember the numbers and I mentioned all of it. So you can watch about buying a car in Canada. So if you're buying your first car, check the Carfax. There is a website where you can check and just Google it, CarProof, Carfax. Ask the owner for it. Ask them to test drive it. If they don't let you, walk away. And also, if you're buying it, take it to a mechanic. If they don't let you, walk away. There is always another car. Being into sales myself, in real estate, I found out that the market is alive. There's always going to be another house. There's always going to be another car. It might not be there on the market right now. It might be tomorrow. It might be in 2 hours. It might be next week or next month. You'll find your car. If they don't want to sell it, let them have it for themselves, especially a red flag, because most likely there's something wrong with it and you don't want to buy it anyways. So where do you buy cars in Canada? First place, and I purchased like that, and that's where you get screwed up the most, is, well, buying privately. Well, I like buying privately because you can negotiate on the price. You can find people who are in urgent money pinch. Like interest rates right now are high, and people are doing their refinancing on a house at a higher interest rate, and they cannot afford another payment for their mortgage. They want to lose the house. They sell their car. They need the money right now. If you find somebody like that, you can get a great deal because you are there with cash. You can get it from them like that. So there's always better deals if you buy it privately. You can negotiate better, especially if you know a little bit of sales and they are an office working that never had met a salesperson or been in sales themselves. So yeah, you can get a better deal like that. Number 2 place is going to a dealership. You can go to a big dealership like Toyota, Mitsubishi, Nissan, whatever you want, Hyundai, Kia, anywhere you want to go, every dealership has used cars. Right now, the used car market is so high, those dealerships are making so much of money. In fact, I spoke to a sales guy from one of those dealerships, and for them it's so difficult to get paid right now because they get paid once you get the car. And if you don't get the car, they don't get paid. And for example, if you're going for Toyota Sequoia, the wait time is 4 to 5 years. So if they sign a contract with you right now, they might get paid in 5 years if you don't pull out your deposit and say you don't want to buy it by then. So that's kind of the trick about them. They're not getting paid anything right now. And the only money is a used car for them, and used cars are so overpriced. So in dealerships, privately dealerships, and then there's auction houses. Like in Calgary we have Regal Auction House. I know a guy who purchased a car, really nice. You can get some good deals there. Sometimes a fleet car, sometimes drowned cars, sometimes broken down cars, sometimes garbage cars. There are some people who are speculating there and making a lot of money by buying those old cars. And they might lose money on maybe on 3 or 4 cars out of 10. But they're going to make money on 6 of them and cover that expense. So there are people doing that. How my friend did is he would buy an old car there. Then he would take it to a junkyard, get the parts for it. And in his own garage, he would fix it up. So if you are handy like that and you can do that, I would highly recommend going to an auction house. But if you're like me, you just don't have time to waste to fix that car by yourself, watching YouTube videos how to do that, I would say going to a dealership. Right now, I want to give you a recommendation as a person who is living in Canada. I want to say that if you can get a quick possession oh guys, I'm a crazy realtor now, I'm talking about houses, possession. So if you can get a quick, if you can grab a car that is new, and you can, you're okay, or you're okay to wait for a new car, at this current market situation, I highly suggest going for a new car rather than an old one. Or if you are buying an old car, I would probably recommend you going to a private deal, to a private seller. I only went to a dealership when I was buying my Toyota, for example, Highlander, for a couple of reasons. Number one is I know that they're doing some crazy maintenance. I know that they're going to get it done, and I even spoke to the sales guy, and I even figured out how much money he's going to make of the deal, and they told me that because they're like, oh, we're in the same kind of occupation. So I was like, yeah, they're going to make about $1,000 off me. And I was like, you know what, okay, I don't have time right now to go around and search for a car, waste days or weeks for that $1,000. It was a peak of real estate season, and I needed to make money instead of going and shopping for a car. I needed to get out and buy and sell houses for people rather than spending that time trying to figure out which car. So I went to a dealership. So if you want to get something quick and easy, I would say go to a dealership. Even if you're going to a dealership, check all the documents and get inspected in another dealership, not the same one. Take it out to a mechanic, have it inspected. That's my recommendation. That's one thing I didn't do for myself on my last car. I know, guys, I'm telling you how to do that, but I make mistakes just like everybody else. But luckily, I was blessed and there was no issues with that car because the dealership was so good. I actually went to Canyon Creek Toyota, but I don't want to advertise for them. They haven't paid me they're just close to my house. That's the only reason why I went there. But anyways, now, if you guys go to any dealership, make sure you get it inspected. If you are going to an auction house, do it at your own risk. If you are buying private sale, check, see how the people are. See if you can read them. See if you can trust them. Then check the documents and again check it, get it inspected. Don't trust anyone ever. This is how you buy a car in Canada. And once again, if you are okay to wait, I highly recommend save money and buy yourself a new car, because if you're going for an older car right now, well, you might be missing out and you might be overpaying, and you know what's going to happen, guys? The logistics is coming back to normal. I have a friend who is working right now in UPS, and they're saying about the freight going down and logistics, global logistics catching up. I'm telling you guys, right now, if it gets back, you might buy the old car, and if if the prices go down, you might lose a ton of money. So my recommendation is buy a new car or if you're in a pinch, and if you're a realtor like myself, and you need to drive, like you are driving for work. If you don't have a car, you're not making money, and go ahead and buy it, of course. So this is, guys, the main tricks on buying a car in Canada. And it's not different on how you would be buying at home. The difference is just the process. It's one paper document, the registration, where you can transfer and everything. So make sure that, number one, you checked everything, you got the money, you put everything in a contract, you put everything, whatever you need, in writing. Because in Canada, I'll tell you one thing is, even if you get scammed, most police here, they don't care. Canadian police is one of the laziest police services in history where I have seen so far. Even in Ukraine, where I'm from, originally, police, they might be not as good, people would say, but they cared more than Canadian police cares for this kind of cases. You go to them, you say there was a fraud, they say it's a civil matter, take it to civil claims court and figure it out. They want to deal with it. Even when I had my odometer rolled back, I came to the police, they said it's a civil matter. And I said, no, it is not. They're like, are you a lawyer? I was like, no, I'm not a lawyer, but it's not a civil matter because it's a crime. And then finally the sergeant or whoever the supervisor came out and he's like, yeah, it's a crime. I was like, oh my God, police doesn't know the law in Canada. They lack training, they lack education, they are lazy. I even had someone threatening me not too long ago. And what did they do about it? Nothing, because they don't do anything unless something happens here. So all I'm saying is, guys, be proactive. Never rely on the police here or courts or anything. Make sure you don't get into trouble firsthand. So this is my recommendation, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.